to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So on behalf of the school board, I just want to thank the Garrison board for coming over, I guess, right? We went and visited you last year, and I guess you're coming over to the Google Meets on our side of the river to see this presentation on the academic program at James ONeill, and to hear from some of your students and our students who we share just about some of their experiences at ONeill. We'll have a presentation by the high school team led by Ms. Brand, Ms. Haberman, and Ms. Heather Milano, the 9th grade counselor. And then we'll certainly open it up for any discussion and questions from the Garrison board about our programs, about our offerings, or anything else that you might want to know. Again, our board, if you haven't met Mr. Albano, Carl Albano is the superintendent of Garrison, and I guess officially welcome. He's been to our school. We have had a tour. He can't wait to get back, he said. So at this time, I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Brand, Ms. Haberman, and Ms. Milano.
Thanks, Dr. Shiboy. So today, we are very excited to present to you some of the programs we have at ONeill, and also some of the new things that we're doing this year that we really wanted to highlight for the Garrison board. We know some of you have heard this presentation before, so we wanted to keep it a good mixture of things that you know and things that are fresh. But before we got started, we really wanted to make sure that we honored the time of our students. They graciously agreed during midterm time that midterms began today. And so there are many each week, and there are projects due and the like. And so we want to make sure that we give them a chance to speak. And just so you know, we only have 4 Garrison seniors this year, 3 of whom went to the Garrison School District. Unfortunately, the 2, Lily Albertson, her name shows as Amy, but she goes by Lily. Lily is the only senior that was able to join us this evening. The other 2 boys, unfortunately, had conflicts. And the 4th young man was not a product of Garrison schools. He moved into the district in his junior year. And then, so Lena, we reached out to her, and she is a junior, and but she's had 2 older brothers as well. Some of you might know them. And I apologize, it's my phone. We wanted to give them a chance to answer some of your questions that you might have of them regarding their experiences at ONeill or their experiences at Garrison, anything that you're really curious to ask them about. So Lily and Lena, do you want to just say something brief about yourself in terms of maybe what you've been involved in at ONeill, and maybe what you've liked at ONeill, and then so you can give them that feedback. So Lily, why don't we start with you?
I'd like to start off by saying that I've been in softball all the years I've been attending there. Unfortunately, last year not unfortunate that I made varsity, but unfortunate that I had 1 practice only and then the season ended, which I was looking forward to. I really like the softball team. So I'm also involved in JROTC, which is a really good program in my opinion. I really liked it, and I'm glad I chose ONeill because I don't think Haldane has a program like that. And it provides a lot of leadership opportunities. I've had so many opportunities, and it's allowed me to grow as a person. And yeah.
Great, thank you, Lily. And I will say that Lily's one of the friendliest students at ONeill. Like, since she was a freshman, she has always had a smile on her face. She's always been welcoming and gracious to everybody she speaks to. So I wanted to say that, like, I learned her name, I think, on the freshman boat tour that we take. And I remembered it every time because, like, she always made a point of saying hello and just always being kind, and the reports are universally the same about her. And no less pleasant and impressive is Lena. So Lena, you want to say a little something about yourself?
So for me, I do sports year round. I feel like sports really helped me stay productive in terms of, like, when there wasn't any COVID, I would always go from expanded day straight to sports and then right back home. So I'd always keep myself busy, and I really feel like that's important. And ONeill does a really good job in terms of just overall with, like, keeping you busy and always giving you something new to do. So I really like that. And my initial kind of like reaction ONeill. I may be a little biased because of my brothers, but I really liked ONeill because of the many opportunities that they present to you. There's so many things you can do, and they're always constantly growing and always like adding new things and always listening to the students, which I think is really, really important. I do band, which I really enjoy. I do a lot of electives. I try to fill up my schedule as much as possible because I feel like that's really important for me. I like to do art, and ONeill has an amazing art program, and I love doing art, and I love like the teachers and like the students. I think the students are a really big part of ONeill, just kind of finding where you belong, finding out who you are, and that's a really important part of high school as well. So yeah, I do sports year-round, do a couple electives. I'm in a couple clubs as well. I think Spanish club is one of my favorite clubs. I really like Spanish. I also take Spanish, but yeah, just kind of keeping myself busy and doing a lot of sports and doing a lot of clubs. It's amazing. I love it here. So yeah.
Thank you, Lena. So Garrison representatives, do you have any questions of our students? So girls, one thing I know they've asked in the past that I just want to see what you have to say is they've asked, was there anything from Garrison that you felt really prepared you well for your experiences at ONeill?
For me personally, I feel like just kind of the teachers really prepared me just as a whole. I feel like they really were on top of you and just made sure that this is what's going to happen in high school. You need to make sure that you do this and that, and you hand in your homework and you get this done on time. I think the teachers in middle school, from when I was in middle school, they really stressed that a lot. And I think that was what really helped me carry on to high school and just kind of stay on top of myself. So I think that was really important.
Thanks.
I can agree to Lena. I always remember being told by teachers like, oh, it's going to be like this in high school. You got to be prepared. I remember going to high school and I'm like, wow, they were right. This isn't as hard as I thought it would be.
And were there any areas where you felt, and again, this is a question that was asked in the past, any areas where you felt like maybe a little bit more emphasis in middle school might have helped you when you got to high school?
We want to go out to do sports basic training with live internet vaccination there. It's easier said than done for some.
Well, personally, I feel like this is not something Garrison can like kind of control, but I feel like such a big jump. I think that's one of the most important things is just the big jump from like such a small like graduating class or like such a small class to like a really big school, and compared to many other high schools, like ONeill's not that big, which is crazy to think about. But I think it's not something Garrison can exactly control, but I feel like just kind of like the amount of students and like the amount like your classes are filled up, I think that's something to get used to. But it usually goes well after a couple months, so it's not that big of a deal.
Hello? Lily, anything else for you?
No, I agree. All I can add is that I know the difference between ONeill and Haldane is that everyone jokes about Haldane having 2 hallways instead of the 1 hallway that you'd have at Garrison. So it's always just like a small community.
Great, thanks. Is it Miss Tormey? Go ahead.
Yes, hi. Can see, sorry, I'm a little new to this format, forgive me, but thank you for having us. And Lena and Lily, thank you for being here. It's great to hear about your experiences over at ONeill. I was wondering if there's anything Garrison can do, even though you are attending school at ONeill, you are still a Garrison student. Is there anything while you're in high school you would like to see the district do to further support you? You can email me later if you have any thoughts on it. You don't have to, I know I'm putting you on the spot with that question, but we are here to support our high school students, even as you go through your high school years. So if there's anything you or your other Garrison students think of, I hope you will feel comfortable reaching out to us at the school, whether it's through your wonderful principal or have your parents email us, because it's important that we stay connected as well.
I just like to mention, thank you for that. I think that's really important. But I feel like for me personally, just answering right now, whatever comes to mind, there's not really, I feel like the support is a lot, first off. That's really like important for a student. And I think for me that it's more than enough to like just kind of like know that I have the support from like my middle school, my elementary school. But I think that I don't really have anything is what I'm trying to say. I feel like Garrison School kind of really prepared me well for ONeill, but I don't know if Lily feels the same.
Yeah, nothing really comes to mind. I feel really supported by the community. I've never really had any problems.
Dr. Shiboy, go ahead.
Thanks, Ms. Brand. So, young women, what was the greatest transition that you had to ONeill? And do you think that that is something that you also would have faced if you had gone to Haldane?
Personally, for me, I really like the difference in like the sizes of the two schools. I really appreciate how many people there are. There's so many different people. It's not like I'm always with the same people. I remember in Garrison, it was always the same people in all my classes. I knew them. I've always known them like my whole life. At ONeill, there were so many different people. If I went to Haldane, I would have known a lot of the people anyway through like sports anyways. And then I probably would have known most of them by the end of the 4 years. There's still people at ONeill that I'm still like, oh wow, I've never met you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Lily on that. I remember my 9th grade year, I would walk through the hallways and like see a new person every single day. So I was like, wow, that's really crazy. I think that also captured me as well. Just the fact that there's so many people from like 3 different like areas. I think that's so cool, from West Point, Highland Falls, Fort Montgomery. Like you're able to meet so many different people. And it's so important to kind of like learn who they are and kind of learn their stories. And your classes kind of get mixed up and you get to meet new people. And I think that's so important in terms of finding out who you are and then finding out what you want to do and who you want to be. So I think that was really important, and that allowed me to have an amazing kind of like translation to high school.
Thank you both. Very thoughtful.
Mr. Albano?
I just want to thank you both for joining us during such a difficult time of midterms. I know that can be stressful. So really, we appreciate the time. I'm new to Garrison. This is my first year, so I'm still learning my way around a bit. I'd love to hear more about how you think ONeill has prepared you for college, and maybe you could speak a little bit to that process as far as considering different colleges.
I know for me, since I'm a senior, that I've gotten so many emails over the last couple of months with like slide presentations, like different sources for meetings with like other colleges, all these materials like of scholarships, schools, how the process works. Even with the whole pandemic going on and not being able to like see people like face to face personally, I know I'm getting a lot of material. I feel prepared and ready. I was worried over the summer about how it was going to go, but I'm not all too worried. I've been applying to colleges and getting accepted, so.
Congratulations.
Sorry, I would just kind of like to add on to that, even though I'm not exactly a senior, I kind of feel prepared already. Not only do I have like my brothers to help me, they've also went through ONeill, so they kind of understand what's going on with that. But I feel like announcements are really important. Like, even though they're not directed towards me, I still know what's going on for the seniors and what's going on with that. And I also really like how like the guidance office is always like open and they're like ready to talk to you if you ever need it. So I think that really helps prepare you for college and just for yourself, because I feel like you need to believe in yourself in order to kind of prepare yourself for college. So the guidance office really helps a lot, and the announcements help a whole lot. And just, something I really like is that there's not much talking when it comes to meet, so you're able to hear the announcements, and it helps you become more aware of everything around you.
Thank you both.
Any other questions for our students? Go ahead. I don't see your last name. I'm sorry. I see Mrs. Julian. Go ahead.
Can you guys see me? No? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking your time to meet with us. This is really, really exciting. I'm a parent of 8-year-old twin boys, and it's just really exciting to see, the next step in high school. So when it comes to specialized programs that Garrison offers, and I heard a lot about the different clubs in Spanish and band. Is there one club that you wish, or one special program that you wish that Garrison had when you attended, or that you would recommend now?
For me personally, I don't know if Garrison has it now, but I was always interested in like a book club of some sort. So you all like pick out a book and you kind of all just like read it. And I think that's so cool, because like reading a book with like a group of people, you have someone to talk to it about. Like you're able to like talk about like what you like and what you don't like, and then kind of prepare yourself for like the next book. I don't know. I wasn't so sure if when I was a middle schooler if there was a book club, but I was always interested in some sort of book club. So maybe if you guys don't have that, I think that would be a great idea.
Thank you.
I think that's a great idea. Personally, I can't really think of anything, so.
I'm not quite sure that Garrison is big enough to do this, but I know something that our Highland Falls School does is they have a JCORE, which is like our JROTC works with the middle school students for kids who are interested in that. And I know that Lily mentioned she's in the JROTC, but I'm not sure exactly how that works, but that might be another possibility of, something. I'm not sure if there is interest from Garrison students, but that seems to be a pretty successful linked program that we have between the two schools in Highland Falls.
Thank you.
Any other questions for our kids? Great. Well, Lily and Lena, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. You did a wonderful job. So thank you for joining us this evening and for being the students that you are.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too. Okay, Ms. Milano, I'm going to hand it off to you for a little bit.
Good evening, everybody. First, I'd just like to wish everyone a happy new year. It's very different being in this format. I have my sweaty hands below my desk, but I would like to just, welcome you all. I'm going to present my screen. Just please bear with me.
Ms. Milano, do you want me to do it so you can, or would it be best for you to, whatever you would prefer?
I don't mind.
Okay.
I mean, I can't see, but I think you guys could still see me. So my name is Heather Milano. I'm the 9th grade counselor at James I. ONeill High School. As you all know, we have 3 different populations that feed into our school. For the 2020-21 school year, we currently have 464 students in the high school building. Tonight, I'm just going to give a little bit of information about some of the programs at our school, just some updates. As you were hearing from one of our students, our JROTC program, which promotes leadership, communication, citizenship, responsibility, and life skills. I would say that our students, really do thrive in that program. Many of our upperclassmen end up leading many of the instruction and the programs for the students, and really serve as like a mentor to the underclassmen. Last year, the JROTC program, it was their 13th year as the league champions in the fitness competition. It was their 14th year as regional champs for orienteering. They placed 3rd in the New York League Championship, as well as 5th in the nation for the National Academic Meet. Every year, we have students who apply for the ROTC full academic scholarships, and 3 students who got those scholarships were for Auburn University, Harvard University, as well as Purdue University. With regards to our unified arts programs, 3 of our band participants and 4 of our chorus students made it to All-County. 4 band students and 14 chorus students made it to All-State. This recent holiday season, Mr. Tom Cunane and Mr. Chris Sheehan worked with our students to put on a tremendous holiday concert virtually. So it took a lot of collaboration, but it was released to the public on December 23rd, and it was fantastic. The students worked really hard, the teachers worked very hard, and I think that really just shows like dedication and commitment, not only of the faculty, but really of our students to put that together, because I know that was a tremendous undertaking. With regards to extracurricular clubs, we have over 30 clubs. I know that some of the clubs that really are popular amongst our students range from S2S, which is student to student. We have Red Cross Club, we have Environmental Club, Fashion Club. What's new is podcast. We also have reading buddies, which when school is in session, is when our high school students would go down to the intermediate school and work with the students to, teach them reading. So the majority of the clubs are still meeting, even though we are virtually. And I think that has been really vital in keeping our students connected to one another. Athletics. So we have many of our varsity teams have earned division titles, as well as Section 9 titles. Every year we have teams who qualified for states. That includes our alpine ski team, cross country, golf, spring track, and tennis. We have also been nominated by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association to be a school of excellence for 2 years in a row. And in order to earn this distinction, 75% of a school's varsity teams must qualify and receive the Scholar Athlete Award. So the teams that have earned this award include alpine ski team, cheerleading, cross country, indoor track for boys and girls, lacrosse, soccer, spring track, tennis, and volleyball. So our student athletes are really a vital component of the success that our school has. I do know students are missing being able to be out in the field and the camaraderie that they have with their teammates, but hopefully that will resume. I do want to mention that this year we have a new student member who has joined our student support staff. Sarah Fitzsimmons is our school social worker. She's a bilingual licensed clinical social worker. She has a background in outpatient mental health and working primarily with the youth diagnosed with various mental health conditions. She's trained in dialectical behavioral therapy, which helps to bring a background of mindfulness to the school. So she has been a fantastic person to work with, a great person to add to our student support staff, and especially during this time, she really has brought many ideas, has really helped to kind of reinforce the social emotional learning needs that and initiatives that our school is looking to introduce to our students. To briefly talk about academics, in all of our content areas, we offer courses in the Regents, Honors, and AP levels. SUPA is Syracuse University Project Advanced, and OC is Orange County Community College. So those are two college systems that offer college credit to our students who are taking their courses. We have advanced placement courses, again, in all the disciplines. We have up to 30 academic electives and 3 foreign language options, which include Spanish, Chinese, and American Sign Language. Now, just a few unique course offerings that some have started last year and some are new to our school this year. So English 12 Rise is considered a full year course for our seniors. Students are able to receive a mentorship opportunity with faculty or staff members in which they can design their own individualized projects. And these projects can range from anywhere from being a research-based project, an internship, or an arts or music performance-based project. The first semester, so in the fall, it consists of general literature study and then college preparation activities. And then in the second semester, they're able to actually prepare and design their project. They will have the mentorship RISE experience, and then they will have a RISE presentation. With American Sign Language, this is the 3rd year that we are offering ASL. So any student that decided to take ASL, this is now their 3rd year in which they are able to obtain their credit towards making them able to get the New York State Regents Diploma with Advanced Designation. This year, we also are working with the Oneida Herkimer Madison BOCES, which is the BOCES program that I guess gives us ASL, but they have partnered with Herkimer Community College. And so any student who is in ASL 3 is able to get 3 college credits as long as they are in the course for the full year and they maintain an average of 80 and higher. They are able to get 3 college credits free of charge. So I think that's pretty amazing for our students, where the programs through OC or Syracuse University, there is a cost. So, in this program, it is free for our students, and that is a brand new partnership that has been developed this year. And then another new course, which I think is pretty cool. I wish it was around. Well, there's no, media the way there is when I was in school, but is the impact of mass media on popular culture. And the focus of this course, which will be a spring semester course, is to help students become critical consumers of media. The course is going to use a program from Stanford University, where it's going to help students analyze who is behind the information that is put out in the media, to look at what evidence is being presented and what do other sources say. And then they will also be looking at how media has shaped key events in the US in U.S. history using many lessons created by Newseum ED. So I think that this class will provide a lot of opportunity for conversation and dialogue, something that I think our students could definitely benefit from, you know, to hear one another and to really have like thoughtful conversation. So I'm very excited for our students to be able to take advantage of an elective like that. Now for AP Seminar and AP Research, Ms. Brand is going to speak to that in a little while. We do have diversified STEAM course offerings, computer science and coding. This, I believe, is our second year that we are offering this to students. Sherry McNair is our librarian and media specialist, and she runs this course. It's very specialized and individualized for the students, where she works with them to see where they're at with their coding experience and lets them design their own projects, whether they're coding robots or learning how to make, you know, like e-cards. It's really a very interactive program, and the kids really like it. We have AP Computer Science and then other tech electives like web design and computer graphics. And then our math courses, high school math concepts, Algebra 2A, Intro to Pre-Calc, and AP Calc AB and BC. These courses are really, have been developed to really meet the needs of our students who have a varying level of like mathematical ability. High school math concepts is a pre-algebraic course really designed to help students gain the foundation that they need so that they could be successful in their high school courses, math courses. And then you move all the way up to AP Calc, AB, where you have students who are very accelerated, who are capable, more than capable to handle the high level, college level AP Calculus, ABBC curriculum. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Brand, who will give you some information regarding the AP Capstone diploma.
Thank you, Ms. Milano. So we are in the second year of our AP Capstone program. We brought it into the high school last year. And really what the program looks to do is create opportunities for students to have authentic, individualized research experience that is, I would say, both on the collegiate and even graduate school level in terms of the experiences they're getting. Each course, in the first year of the program, they take AP Seminar, which is kind of an introduction to research processes where they begin, answering research-focused questions, and they learn even how to ask questions that should be asked to do research, right? So a lot of times it's about understanding what needs to be known and what needs to be discovered. And so they really spend that first year developing and building those skills and thinking critically and looking at different problems from different kinds of perspectives. So really kind of honing in and, rather than just talking about a broad topic like the death penalty, let's say, which is kind of a generic thing, they'll go into a nuanced thing or a nuanced angle of something. So something like, what is the impact of something like mass media on popular culture, like something very fine-tuned, and even that would be broad, and they would start to look at the different ways they can ask questions, the different angles and perspectives they can consider on everything from world issues to science to social science. Really, it runs the gamut. And then they take that experience and, no, I still need to be on the first page.
Sorry.
They take that experience and they go into AP Research year 2, which is really where they pursue their own personalized questions and projects. And it's very much individualized. Each student has to pursue their own line of questioning. And it really takes a tremendous amount of work. And it also requires a lot of independence. The teachers are required to kind of step back and give them guidance and help facilitate their movement, but to really foster the independence students need as they get older. And one of the fantastic things about this is that if they get a 3 both years on the assessments that AP offers. And then they have 4 other AP classes and exams they've taken in the course of high school where they get a 3 or higher, which is a passing score on an AP exam. They are able to get an AP diploma, which is, basically like an endorsement or a distinction, but it is now so well known and so well regarded that the Common App for colleges have it as a question. Are you pursuing an AP capstone diploma? Because they recognize how distinctive it is. And really, I think it was College Board created this in parallel to the IB International Baccalaureate curriculum, which has something similar but is international in nature. So this is great because we considered bringing something like science research to the school, but we found that this program really was broader and it allowed students with a wide range of interests to pursue their research. And so just to give you a sense of what our first cohort of seniors is doing, we just wanted to, the next screen shows you some of the different questions that they're pursuing. So for this second year, they've had to choose mentors for their topics of studies and for their research. And we even had to create an institutional review board or an IRB in our school. And and the students had to present to the IRB, both in terms of the validity of their research, but also if it was a human research that required human study, the ethical considerations. And again, this is something that most college students don't even get to experience, usually on the master's and graduate levels where you start to get an experience with an IRB. So they've had to present to, Dr. Shiboy, Dr. Tehedor, other people who have a doctorate already, to me, to a colonel from West Point who also was gracious in allowing us to, or in participating and listening to student presentations. And so the students have to put together a presentation and share their ideas and justify their research. Again, a very difficult skill to master, and it really requires honed thinking. But some of the questions, and this is not exhaustive list at all, we just, we had some questions available, but how does television, or how do television and film influence teen perceptions about abortion? What are the rights of cadavers who donate to science? What are the effective policies for reducing mortality rates among women of color? Did Mitt Romney's religious affiliation cost him the election in 2012? And how has the Chinese government infiltrated foreign markets in order to further its political agendas? You can see that these are incredibly diverse. We even have another student who's doing something local. They're looking at the effects of the pandemic on local businesses. So, I mean, really, it's truly individualized and it really is wide ranging. And, students often take months and months and months to even arrive at these questions. They have to research and research and research and have topics fail until they kind of decide. And then they pursue the projects, which are ranged in from survey designs all the way to more human-based studies. So eventually, we are hoping that they're going to put together final presentations that we will display in TED Talk format at the end of the year. And we are super excited for that. We're really excited to see the research that they do and what they come up with.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Brands. Another distinction that students of our school are able to apply for is the Seal of Biliteracy, which is an award given to students who have shown proficiency in 2 or more languages. That student has to show mastery in the 2 languages by meeting like assessment requirements. They have to make presentations. There is a summative project, essays, interviews, and that student then has to have all that information reviewed by a committee. Last year, we had 2 students achieve this award. This year, my understanding is there are 4 students who are looking to work towards achieving the Seal of Biliteracy. Obviously, we are all, going through, the COVID pandemic, and I think that the district has really taken, every step possible to really manage our students' needs in every way possible. One way to do that was by providing one-to-one devices for all students and faculty. This occurred back in March, where all students were given a Chromebook, and as well as faculty. Over the summer, in August, there was a Chromebook distribution event set up for all of the ninth graders, as well as any transfer student. We adhered to all of the safety guidelines to make sure that students were able to feel that they had all the materials necessary in order to start the school year. On that particular day, they received their Chromebooks, they received a binder with their login information about starting off the school year. There was also opportunity for the students to be able to have their picture taken. So it was really, a way to kind of kick off the school year, but making sure that they had the technology so that they can participate in, this virtual learning environment. Another component of the one-to-one devices is really the quick response that the district has provided to families with regards to anyone who has indicated a loss or need of internet services. I would say that as soon as a family member indicates that to the guidance department, within a day, that family is issued a hotspot. So there really is a very minimal disturbance in making sure that that student is able to get to their academics as soon as possible. Another way that the district and the high school has been managing education is by breaking up the school into 3 cohorts: maroon, gold, and virtual. So for maroon students, it has been broken up by last names, so A through L, E, and then LI through Z. And then any families that have been decided that they would like to keep their children in our virtual academy. Since the beginning of the school year, and even back in March, it has been very important to make sure that there is a consistent education, consistent classes. And then this year, the decision to have a revised bell schedule, because there is an understanding that the students would be potentially on their Chromebooks for an extended period of time. But we decided to maintain an 8-period scheduled day. There would be 40 minutes in each class with 8 minutes of passing between the classes. That was designed so that students can stretch, take a break, go to the bathroom, get a drink. Then after period 5, there's a 5-minute homeroom in which announcements are made. And then there's a shared 30-minute lunchtime for students of all grade levels from 11:30 to 12. That revised bell schedule for the maroon and gold cohorts are Mondays, Tuesdays, and then Thursdays and Fridays. On Wednesdays, we have asynchronous Wednesdays. During that day, there are 2, pieces of that day. The first one is that there are extra help sessions available for our students. Teachers post their extra help meets. There are 2 1-hour sessions, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And we also have for students a mandatory community connection time. This is one of our initiatives in addressing the social emotional learning for all of our students. And basically what it is a small group comprised of students of all grade levels, along with 1 faculty member. The idea was that the students would be able to have a weekly check-in with an adult in the building, someone possibly who's not their teacher, and that would allow them to know of another person within the building that they can reach out to and talk to, as well as meeting other students from other grades, just as if they were in a club or sport, and they would have the opportunity to check in, say how they're feeling, for the day. There are, prompt questions to kind of start dialogue. And then, hopefully as time goes on, the students would feel that this was a group that, on a weekly basis, they would be able to kind of connect with and talk to. We, as a school, have also presented the CCT to the faculty as well, in order to give everyone the opportunity to have a chance to talk and connect, since that opportunity doesn't allow for itself, being that we haven't been in the building. But I think it does give people a sense of camaraderie, a sense of feeling connected, and a sense of getting to know one another in a way that we might not have been able to if we didn't have the CCT. Another way to address social and emotional learning is that we've been offering discussion groups from the guidance department's point of view. In December, once there was a notification of an extended holiday pause, I had put out a notification to the 9th graders to host weekly discussion groups, just to help students have the opportunity to discuss any of their feelings or thoughts about COVID or about remaining virtual. Ms. Fitzsimmons, the school social worker, she has been offering mindfulness breaks. So every day in the morning, she would do a mindfulness stretch, and in the afternoon, she would do a meditation, and that was available for any student if they wanted to participate in it. She is also currently providing COVID groups for all grade levels. That is for students who have been referred by teachers, and the guidance staff is going to work with her to present on weekly themes to really help students kind of navigate through this time. And additionally, we have created Google Classroom pages to give out information, to provide various resources. Myself, as a 9th grader, I've created a virtual guidance office, and each month there are resources, there are tips, there's a means for students to request an appointment with me if they want to do so, without sending an email. There's a little bit of music, there's some positive words to and words of encouragement. So we really are looking to kind of offer the support to the students, as we go through this time. And now for some Garrison Success. So we have currently 28 students in our school who are Garrison students. 68% of those students are in honors, AP, or SUPA, or OC class. 25% are in NHS, which is the National Honor Society. And you can see our ONeill mean SAT scores. The total with reading and writing is an 1160, and the Garrison mean scores are 1220, with the reading at a 612 and the math at a 607. And this is the list of the colleges and universities for our Garrison graduates from the years 2016 to 2020. Any of the schools that are underlined are for our students who graduated last year, and these are the schools that they are have indicated that they're attending there this fall. So you can see there's a range from state schools to Cornell to Utah. So we have really had great success with, or I should say, Garrison students have had great success with their post-secondary plans and where they look to to go beyond ONeill. One of the other or final components of this presentation is just to bring you up on the capital project. I believe that we are at the super duper last final stages. There have been updates to the science classrooms. The stage has been renovated in the auditorium. The bathrooms are brand new. Parking lots, it's beautiful. There's lighting. The outdoor work, so all the fields, I'll show you a few pictures. There's lighted turf fields and bleachers. The track, we have brand new tennis courts, a state-of-the-art cardio fitness center, weight room, and locker rooms. So this is a picture of one of our science rooms. It's really quite beautiful. The labs are now able to be conducted in the room at the same time. Then this is the cardio fitness room. And in the back of the school, this is the football field with the track, as well as the 2 of the 4 tennis courts, brand new tennis courts. And here's just a picture of the 50-yard line. So I do want to thank you all for your attentiveness. I'm just gonna get out of that. And just to let you know, I've been in contact with Miss Diego. She is the school counselor over at Garrison West Point Middle School, and so we have it planned that Wednesday, I should say, we are going to be hosting a Google Meet 8th grade presentation with the 28th graders, where Miss Brand, Miss Haberman, and myself are going to introduce ourselves and present to the students about the programs that are available to them. I'm working I'm the co-advisor for student to student, and so our students are putting together like a welcome video for all the 8th graders, because we kind of can't have the students mesh just yet. But I also believe that we are going to work together to try to host some tours for the 8th graders so that they could see the new grounds and the facilities. And hopefully that will be occurring within the next few weeks. So thank you. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free.
Thank you, Ms. Milano. And I also want to extend that invitation. If any of the people on the Garrison board would like to have a tour, we would be happy to host one or a few of you at a time, to do a tour of the building, so you could see some of the new facilities. We'd be happy to do that as well. Go ahead. Is it Ms.
Tormy, yeah. I thank you. I would love to come for a tour to see your new facilities, and congratulations on finishing the capital project, especially during these difficult times. I think that's quite an accomplishment. And I've heard wonderful things. I know Mr. Albano's been over there to see them. So I'm sure our students would like to see it as well. I just had one question regarding your STEAM program. Does that have a specific space in the building for coding or STEAM? Is it integrated into, is it a library program? How is that done?
So a little bit of both. So we do have, and the library media specialist does run that discoveries in coding and computer science course, and she does it. We have both a maker and breaker space in our library. Our library media center is probably one of the more distinctive 21st century spaces, I would say, in all of Orange County. I haven't seen enough Putnam County schools to say if it's true of there as well, but it is truly state of the art. And in terms of, students have everything from Lego spaces to build things to, they really do have a breaker space where they can take apart computers to see how they're made and put together. But we have, to answer your question specifically, so that comes out of the library because she, Ms. McNair, does have a lot of the equipment there that she uses with the students. But we also have, in terms of the computer science classes, we still have a computer lab where we do the work out of that. And then, of course, we have, in terms of our art, we have art sections of the building, and even our 3D designs classrooms and stuff. But so it's not in one area of the building. It's really spread out. I mean, we have forensics as an elective that's offered. We have multiple different AP level and Regents level science classes. And we only have 2 electives in the science program, though. It's science and society and forensics are the 2 main electives. But then through the math department, we run all of the other computer science. And then the art department also runs the web design, the 2D animation, 3D animation. There's several, I'm not remembering all of them off the top of my head, but we have several different programs where kids who are interested in computer science can absolutely have the opportunity to grow in that regard. And also just STEAM in general, like with the arts, mathematics, and engineering. We don't have an engineering course per se, but we do have physics on multiple levels where we kind of give the preparation for that. And we offer some great field trips, like we do the Algebra 1 classes go on West Point, and they have, I'm forgetting what it's called, a seminar where the kids get to interact with West Point professors and cadets to learn, some of the applications of mathematics that they're doing, so they can see the future implications of it.
And as you may know, we are embarking on our own capital campaign. Part of it does include updating our art room and creating a makerspace, if you will, here of our own. So perhaps we could include a tour of your makerspace at some point. It might inspire some wonderful ideas.
Yeah, and Miss McNair is very proud of her baby, so I would want her to be there, because she really, it is her vision, and she has helped with Dr. Tejedor like create so many wonderful nooks in that library media space. And again, it's not the traditional library. A lot of people who enter it are like, this isn't what a library is. It's not a quiet space where there's someone shushing you, so you could read it. It is different. We have, a giant chessboard. I know that Dr. Sheboy's talked about possibly bringing in a giant Jenga set, and kids actually use these things. They really like being a part of it. And I think one of the things the kids miss most is that library media center. I would say it is definitely that, and the cafeteria are the 2 most popular places in our building. Kids love to go there, and they go there voluntarily and eagerly. So we would be more than happy, though, to show you this space.
Thank you.
So are there any other questions for Ms. Brand, Ms. Milano, or the team? I will say that one thing that we cannot wait for is the opportunity to show off our new facility. One thing that we were very fortunate is we have come under budget. So we've even been able to expand, and we have some supplemental work to, again, enhance some of the ADA access to the building. In addition, looking at new gymnasium floor and some outside of the building to the building as well. And that could not have been possible, without the board's support, without the board's oversight over what we're doing. And certainly Ms. Sidera, our business superintendent for business, her keeping the thumb on that just to make sure that we didn't overspend. So we had a $23.4 million referendum. We've spent about 21.5, and we're looking forward to this summer seeing even more fruit of that effort. So absent any questions, Ms. Lawless, I'll just wrap it up then. I just want to thank the Garrison community for trusting us with your children. We value them, and we do our best to nurture them, to educate them, and to help them be productive and outstanding citizens when they leave our schools and move on to the next level. One thing that we didn't highlight is our entire district was recognized as one of the nation's top communities for music education, and it's something we're very proud of. We try to produce well-rounded young men and women so that when they leave our schools, they're not just academicians who can't engage in a discussion of the arts or can't physically take care of themselves, but to truly produce well-rounded citizens of the world. And we appreciate you being here tonight. We appreciate you coming across the bridge, the virtual bridge. But we so look forward to having you come see us physically in the very near future. So, Carl, do you want to close it out?
Sure. I just want to thank Debbie and Heather. The presentation was comprehensive and impressive. You know, Frank has told me a lot about the district, but to hear firsthand the range of offerings, we're just very impressed by what you're doing. It's a very dynamic place, obviously, and I do get a sense that our students are in very good hands with all of you. So thank you. And Frank, I want to put in an early request for a September football game under the lights. So let me know how I could obtain those tickets, because the facility is magnificent and you have a lot to celebrate. But thank you.
Absolutely, and we'll definitely get you out there, and hopefully we'll get you out there for a lacrosse game in the spring, or a track meet, or a tennis match, because our goal is to get back to some level of normalcy as soon as we can. So,
thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming and for listening. We really appreciate your support as well.
Thank you.
So I do believe the Highland Falls Board has a proposed executive session on the agenda. So if it's okay with Ms. Lawless, I'll just read that resolution. I think I have it up.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So be resolved that upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Highland Falls Fort Montgomery Central School District Board of Education does hereby recess into executive session for the purpose of discussing the employment history of particular individuals. The board will not return to open session to take action.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate your time, and thank you.
You guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Be safe.